All right. Hello everybody. Let's turn the lights on even though I have the window open so maybe mosquitoes may come in. It's been a while. It's kind of the intro these days. It's been a while, it's my intro for this channel. So just wanted to make a video because of, a lot of stuff is going on and kind of overloaded often these days. So I wanted to get a few things off my brain, chest, whatever. So what's up? A couple of days ago, no, yesterday I went to work. It was like fucking 12 hours straight. So basically I did 8 or like normal hours and 4 extraordinary. I don't think that's the word. Anyway, yeah. And I'm accepting basically every job I can because I really want to invest in, you know, beef meat. I want to invest in like beef so I can make more experiments and distribute as many samples as I can. I've made many. I'm gonna show you my shelf for my beef jerky stuff. Like this is at the moment this is my shelf. I've got a couple of new techniques to store beef jerky, a lot more information I've gathered. I've been digging, okay, and yeah. That mosquito on my desk, nice. So, man, I'm fucking rotting. I'm really neglecting myself in terms of like, I'll say not hygiene, but for example, I've not changed my bed sheets for a while. Why I'm disclosing this information? I don't know. I have no clue. I have to, yeah. Working out also has been slowing down, not stopped. I still work out. I worked out a couple of days ago, but I wasn't feeling the best, so I didn't finish the workout. Yeah, yesterday I slept very well because I worked all day, and once again, damn. So, what can I tell you? There is a lot of stuff to say, but I don't know where to start. So I made QR codes and a small landing page for my samples. So I've got like QR codes on my samples. So if I have to give them to someone. I also met this guy from he was in a Airbnb like above us, and he is like an entrepreneur basically. He has many clients. He has like stuff about like managing databases and all the infrastructures that goes behind it, and yeah, he gave me some advice because I told him I wanted to sell beef jerky, and he was like, you should do this and that. It was very good advice. He told me to like reach out to local like shops and bars, like ask them who supplies them, like so I can basically go up the chain, you know. I can reach the people who actually are in this business, and I can hopefully get information, insights, and even like some advice from them. So very good information. And this is one of the reasons I made this QR code. So if I gave my sample as a business card, you know, it's cool. I could go in a fucking bar that, you know, does you know, where you like not a full meal, like a small, I don't know how you say that in English, but there is a word in Italian, it's called aperitivo. I don't know how that, anyway, yes, you go there, you eat some wine, some cheeses and shit, you know, some side snack, meat-based, very good stuff. I think it really fits the vibe of those places. So that's why I wanted to reach out to them. There is a place in Poggibonsi which I know of, which I believe could benefit from something like this, and I could give them my business card. This is like a tasty business card. That's my, oh shit, this was open. I guess I'll eat this today. Are there any more? Okay, no. Yeah, this is basically my business card. The guy from upstairs told me like, you have a tasty business card. That's a fucking genius, man. I was like, yes, that's genius. That's a good idea. So I could give them my business card as a sample. So I have too many like the excuse to give them my contacts. So I'm giving them my sample. Maybe they like them. And also I'm trying to be as perfectionist as possible, even in these. For example, I wanted to give them, for example, like a spicy cheese sample. Thing is, I think I want to make a new batch. Like next batch, I'm gonna make cheese-based beef jerky, but I'm gonna put some smoked paprika. Smoked paprika has a very strong smell. I think that like for first impact wise, it would be better to have like not a cheesy smell, because honestly sometimes it doesn't smell good. Okay, like packed beef jerky in a bag, unless it's this, which is basil, which smells so fucking fresh and amazing. Usually cheese doesn't like give you the best impression, so if I wanted to give them anything like that, I would probably do so with a little bit of smoked paprika to cover the odor, because like, you know, first impression I think is a very important thing in these kind of things. So yeah, I'm very curious to see where that leads me. Maybe I can just like go around in my town, like B2B, just fucking give out samples to butchers, and even like to promote my product. I could even go in, for example, in supermarkets and ask them if I could set up a small place where to, yeah, give out free samples basically. And the problem is with that is that I have to have an established product, and until I don't have a brand and a place I can produce my meat safely yet, I cannot do any of that stuff. So for now, I'm just gonna go, you know, undercover, giving out samples for free to people, not selling anything, just, you know, giving stuff to people for free. You can do that, okay? It's not illegal. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do soon. I don't know, I did some more stuff with Obsidian and coding. I'm making a pretty good like AI kind of, how can I say this? I am merging with AI kind of, okay, and I've been shaping my tool shed to fit my needs and to kind of integrate my lifestyle with that. I've made many prompts. I discovered projects in ChatGPT. They added projects, so I'm finding ways to use them. And yeah, I mean, I'm using 5 different AIs: ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Grok, and DeepSeek. Damn, all the like the 3 fucking AIs. And yeah, I find myself using the most ChatGPT and Gemini. ChatGPT for like not deep thinking, like think for longer. That is very fucking clutch, honestly, for long pieces of code and for, I don't know, other stuff. Gemini for just like a quick use, syntax, you know, stuff, and that's nice. What else? I think I use, yeah, I mean, that's mainly it. I mean, I use AI for way more stuff. Like, for example, on ChatGPT, I've got a fuck ton of uses, man. Predetermined like prompts, so I can use the same prompt over and over. I've got a shortcut on my PC. If I press dot and P, I can press a combination of numbers and it will pop up a specific prompt, which, like, you know, maybe like answer quickly in the first line, or like take this code as canonical base and expand from what I say. Like very specific prompts which are useful to, you know, add maybe to an existing prompt. I've got a prompt refiner, a bot maker, like a bunch of stuff that, yeah, that's very nice. And today I discovered something OP. So I've been thinking for a while about how I can structure my studying, like my knowledge acquisition systems, because AI is powerful, and I found a lot of benefits in using it since when I discovered it, like to just simply explain me stuff which I didn't understand. And I'll be honest, I've oftentimes relied on it too heavily, and sometimes I just kind of try to outsource thinking and digesting information to AI, and that led me to not understanding things fully, and maybe like taking even more time than it should have been taken. I basically spent more time on understanding things just because I wanted to use the AI and I wasn't using it properly, and I wasted more time than if I actually just fucking learned the topic, okay? So I misuse it sometimes. Also because I wanted to get a specific output in a way, and I was obsessing over it, you know, just like general stuff, general perfectionism stuff. But I've been thinking about it for a while because it's very powerful. That's a case. Sometimes I just got a lot of value out of it, so that's why I keep doing it. So I've been trying to figure out how I could manage my workflow to, you know, study and shit. And when I say study, I kind of merge both studying for general knowledge, like subjects I'm interested in, like nutrition and shit, but also like practical stuff I find myself having to know for my beef jerky business, like moisture content, water activity, inferential statistics. Okay, these are things that I'm learning because I need them, and that's why I don't want to differentiate between school stuff and business stuff. I really wanna look at learning as a generally, like, I wanna learn stuff not because of uni, not because I have to pass an exam, but because I want to understand that. Okay, so that's how I'm going about learning. That's why I say studying, as in learning stuff in general. Okay, and I want to have the same protocol for every type of studying. So I want to have the same protocol, either it is like a business related knowledge acquisition, a school related knowledge acquisition, a curiosity related knowledge acquisition. I just want to have the knowledge workflow set up. So I've been thinking about how can I make that, and I've been making up a couple of you know, schemes, and like mentally understand how I can approach these, like if that's the blah, 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 using AI, like flatten the style and the syntax of our definition and shit. Like I've been digging deep. I've got a couple of bots I've been trying to make. Some failed, some didn't. Like a gathering text from my Obsidian Vault to, there is a lot of stuff that goes into it. But I discovered this fucking crazy AI. I don't even know how I missed it, and it's Notebook LM from Google. I don't know how again, it's from Google. It's not like a sketchy website. It's Google literally, and it's crazy. Okay, it takes sources and it makes content based on that sources. Okay, it's this one. It's fucking crazy how good this is. You can create audio overviews, reports, questions and answers, even like presentations and maps, you know, a bunch of stuff. And the beauty of it is it doesn't like source from the whole internet, like just from the sources you cited, and it is very specific to that subject. That's why I love it. So crazy fucking shit, man. Yeah, what else can I say? Okay, let's keep these here. And yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. I really want to look forward to. I already understood a couple of things from using this tool, and this is the tool perfect to use, you know, audio overviews, yeah, whatever the fuck. And yeah, you can also jump in the podcast from what I've understood. So that's great, man. Fucking great. Very excited for it. It also kind of, you can test your knowledge on topics because it also asks you for questions. Like you can set up questions, and it's very fucking cool. I really look forward to this as a main source of learning and understanding. This really simplifies my workflow because I was trying to get the same system by using many different AI setups, but this is like an all-in-one fucking goat. So I'm very excited I discovered this. It simplifies things a lot. Yeah, I installed GitHub. Okay, finally getting into GitHub fucking stuff, because I was like unintentionally, I was doing unknowingly stuff that would have been much more easier, yeah, with GitHub. Like I was trying to track versions and different types of stuff. I could have just used GitHub to, you know, track my versions, and I'm finally getting onto that. I'm trying to still set it up, understand how it works. Fucking complicated, honestly. I feel like I can do it though. So yeah, once I do, I feel like I have like a repository for all of my code, and I think that's amazing. I can finally store my code on a repository so I can access it wherever I fucking want, and it's open source for everyone to use. Let's fucking go, so I can finally express my code with everybody, I guess. Yeah, so that's that. I installed Copilot on VS Code. Yeah. I have to give some samples to the cashier at the place where I buy my meat. I got a slicer. My friend Jack, he was like, I don't use a slicer, do you want to buy that? Because I was interested in one. I was like, yeah, well, I don't fucking buy it. So 50 euros, got myself this slicer. Looks good. Okay, tomorrow we'll get it from his workplace. I will go get it. And I mean, he goes to work in my town, and he will take the slicer in his car so I can go and retrieve it. Same day I will go buy some cheese so I can make more cheese seasoning, and I'll go to my butcher to get some meat. And the thing is, I think I already told that in my previous video, but yeah, my butcher was like, you can buy directly chunks of meat and you slice it yourself. That's what I'm gonna try and do. Very excited for that. Also very excited to try the slicer. Yeah, a lot of setup going on. I'm also organizing my beef jerky differently. For example, in order to check the water activity, roughly estimated, I'm using the hygrometers. I bought many of these. I don't know if I showed you in my last video, but I've got I've got 8 different hygrometers. I think I will buy more because I really am finding a lot of value in hygrometers to measure the relative humidity, to measure the water activity of a product. And I do that by putting beef jerky in a jar. Yeah, and I just measure the water activity with the hygrometer. Oh, sorry, what I wanted to say was that since I'm doing that, I discovered it is pretty convenient to store my beef jerky in jars, because oftentimes I find myself just having to distribute some beef jerky to my friends, and I have to open a pack, and I'm also wasting a pack. Instead, I could just put them into a jar, and whenever I want, I can open them up, give them to my friends, close it up again, and yeah, I can just use my packs just to distribute it all, like, outside of my close friend groups. That's my thing. So I can use, I save money, a lot of money actually, on packs, and it's just visually more appealing, and more I can control the humidity better. I know exactly what's the relative humidity in the jar, so I can estimate the water activity, so the safety essentially of my product. So water activity is the safety measure of the product, and that's very important. I want to know the water activity of different products and how the drying influences it. I would like to run some tests on water activity based on salt amount and all of that stuff. And so far, yeah, I noticed, for example, I just acknowledge a couple of data. For example, water activity, my fennel beef jerky is very high, like 85%, so it's not completely safe. Other than that, all of my other samples are pretty low in water activity, like 56. This is smoked paprika. This is I don't know how much that is though. This is 58. This is I don't even know if I don't have any hygrometer here. But okay, I have this one. Let's see this one. This is 59. It's 55%, I think. Yeah, 55% relative humidity. So it's pretty safe, okay? Generally, like under 60% relative humidity is fucking impossible. Something grows, any microorganism grows in that food. So I'm pretty chill about that. But the fennel one, nah, not really. So yeah, have to investigate that further. I mean, I let that pretty wet, pretty moist, because I wanted to try different drying stuff. And yeah, since I now know what matters in terms of safety, I can really go out and experiment with different extremes of drying. For example, I can try and make a very wet product while still being safe, or at least knowing if it is safe or not. So I can really I'm kind of less, like, I'm not wandering in the darkness when it comes to safety. I know what's going on, I know what's safe and what's not, or at least I know. I hope I know, because maybe it's not an accurate estimation, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's cool. Learning more stuff on Obsidian, stuff like you know, the moisture stuff. I'm getting a grip of it pretty well. I'm engineering more prompts to even like to further improve my productivity and workflow for my studying and knowledge acquisition. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I think I went over most things. Yes, I made the landing page on my QR code stuff. And before making this video, I was about to prepare some samples for my cashier friend where I go buy meat, so I can give him some samples. Yeah. But I'm glad I can do all this stuff, and I don't know. Yeah, so that's something. I think I went over most things. I improved my Excel sheet for the experimentations. Pretty fucking crazy shit, by the way. I calculated water activity. I made a huge fucking database of everything related to you know, food items and their category. I removed the ID page. I made everything into one big database. What the fuck is happening? Fuck. Who knows for how long you were in that awful state. Hopefully the audio was okay. Anyway, yeah, I made a huge database of the foods. So I have all of my codes here, and I categorize. The reason I did this, and it's so hard to do it, because like before I had just had 2 columns with the code. Here I have to do some crazy shit with like, I don't know, like indexing and putting stuff in columns based on the type, and like it's, you know, crazy shit. Okay, anyway, I've got this whole database of the water content, protein, fats, carbohydrates, and salt to estimate all different calculation and water activity levels and blah blah blah. Okay, you got that. So yeah, I still have to validate also the prices, so I know how much my samples cost and how much it varies based on the sample ingredients and how much I use of it. Crazy automated stuff. I'm very proud of this sheet, honestly. Very thorough, very detailed, and yeah, very mathematical, man. I love the way it came out to be. This is a small preview of what was going on, and the price based on the ingredients. For example, if I use all the ingredients, I tracked. Can I write? Oh, I can. Yeah, so basically I can adjust the proportions. For example, 30% of soy sauce, and it will cost an amount. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Very much love my thing. Also, I made it so that every tab, every page is a different batch, because it was a fucking mess trying to make everything into the same page. Because if I copied the experiment as blank, it didn't really turn right, because there were fixed ranges which I could not modify. Which were fixed to the same, like old experiments. It was messing up everything, and it was a pain in the ass to adjust everything. In fact, I didn't manage to adjust every time, and it caused many errors. So I made every type a singular batch, so I don't have to drag any and copy any database. So everything is here. Graphs are set, and I'm improving it every time I do. Every time I do an experiment. I also made too much stuff to talk about. It's been too long. Cannot fucking do it anymore. Yeah, very proud of that. Very happy. I also modified some code regarding my tools on my desktop. So the file reducer now adds a tag to each file which is processed, so it doesn't process already processed files, if that makes sense. Yeah, man, a lot of stuff. I wrote a lot of fucking stuff. I also got on this bullshit here. How do you call those things like like how do you fucking say that? You know, where an action. I tried this. This is like an action, and by the way, this is in Sicily, so the opposite side where I live. I hopefully can find a way to retrieve that good without going there physically and spending a fucking like a fucking €100. But yeah, I got tried doing this. Hopefully the stuff goes through and I can, yeah. Damn, man. A lot of stuff going on. And that's why I'm neglecting myself a little bit, like I told in the first seconds of the video. I'm trying to keep track of, not trying to keep track of, I'm trying to do everything I should do, and that's a lot, so yeah. Thank you for watching, bye bye.